Climate change.
Climate change.
In the average weather patterns
Climate change.
local, regional, and global climate. These changes have a broad range of observed effects that are synonymous with the term.
The effects of climate change are uneven and reflect an historical injustice. Those who are least responsible suffer the most. The Philippines, for example, is a net carbon sink. We absorb more carbon dioxide than we emit. And yet, we are the fourth most vulnerable country to the effects of climate change.
Dati may kumakain ng fita. Kaso may nalimos na lola. So, hinatian niya. Diwata pala si lola.
Dahil busilak ang iyong puso, isang kahilingan.
Sagot si kuya.
Sports car! Ulit!
Half fita, half kotse.
Balikan ng tamis alat sarap ng fita. Balikan ng sarap.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Magandang umaga sa tanan mga lowriders out there. Welcome to Balitang News, giving you news on the latest happenings here, there, and everywhere.
For today's news update, temperature in the Philippines is rising once again. For more information about this, we have Barrera for the report. Jeinel?
Studio. Thank you, Rhona. According to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, climate change is now happening. All areas of the Philippines will get warmer, more so in relative warmer summer months. Mean temperatures in all areas in the Philippines are expected to rise in about 1.8 degrees Celsius to 2.2 degrees Celsius in 2050. Evidence has been seen to support the fact that change cannot simply be explained by natural variations. The most recent scientific assessments have confirmed that this warming of the climate systems since the mid-2020th century is more likely to be due to human activities, and thus, this is due to the observed increase in greenhouse gas concentration from human activities, such as burning of fossil fuels and land use change. Current warming has increasingly posed quite considerable challenges to man and the environment and will continue to do so in the future. Presently, some autonomous adaptation is taking place, but we need to consider more proactive adaptation planning in order to ensure sustainable development. Furthermore, Pag-asa tells us to take action now before we run out of time. That's all. Thank you. Back to the studio.
Thank you, reporter. Next, scientists warns us about the devastating effects of climate change in the future. Here we have Reporter 2 for the report. Reporter 2.
Thank you, Stephene. Let us welcome scientist Keesha Cantomayor. She works for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and she is going to explain the destruction this world will experience if we cannot mitigate climate change.
Thank you, Anchor. It's nakakapanghina ng knees to see what is going to happen to our beloved Earth if we continue to pollute it. Firstly, the temperature will increase to an extremely hot level due to what we call the greenhouse effect. Temperature is expected to rise once again. Next, sea levels will increase to the max. We fear that some cities will sink like the Titanic if this continues. And lastly, we expect extinction of species because of drought and lack of food, and also the devastating forces of nature due to change or climate change.
Scary! Anyway, that's it. Back to the studio.
Truly, it is scary, but we can still prevent it from happening. That is all for today's video. Report. Once again, this is Balitang News, giving you news updates here, there, and everywhere. Thank you, and always remember, turn off the lights when it's day. Thank you.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
May show! Audition tayo? Kaso maiksi buhok, di bagay sa mga role. Try Sunsilk! Now with biotin and aloe vera. Sunsilk nourishes hair to be strong as it grows long day by day. Popstar! Mermaid! Superhero! We did it! Have amazing! New Sunsilk Strong and Long.
So, we have here two students from Einstein, Manong Sam and Manang Andy. So, we will be asking them what they think is the effects of climate change on the globe. And who will go first? Manong Sam?
We will go together.
Wow, okay. So, Manong Sam, you can start.
Climate change is, it's real.
And here,
It's natural.
it's constant.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere in the world.
You can feel it
In our bones,
in our air,
in our smiles,
in our waters,
in our clouds,
in the faces of people,
and the children.
the children. So, what was the question again?
The question was, how does climate change affect people?
Here we have my spokesperson.
You can feel the effects of climate change. As you can see, it's summer, but it is not your usual summer. It is hotter. It is.
True.
Very true.
Don't you agree that it's very hot
Yeah,
here?
it's very hot. Truly
Yes,
hot.
very true. I have my
Do you have
family here.
anything to say, Pa?
I believe he already said it us.
Oh, I have something to add. Climate change. Certain animals, such as polar bears in the Antarctica,
Very far place.
very far from the Philippines, rely on their environments, their icebergs. However, due to climate change, many icebergs melt. We humans indirectly cause climate change. We cause the destruction of their homes. Don't you agree?
I agree.
Don't you love polar bears?
I love polar bears.
Don't you love penguins?
I love penguins.
Do you want to save penguins and polar bears?
Save penguins.
Yeah, thank you so much for your bubbly answer, Manang and Manang. So here we have another participant to answer our climate trivia questions for today. You have your Manang Chloe from 10 Einstein. So Manang Chloe, your question is, if you were a spokesperson of the Department of Environment, how would you explain to those who can't understand climate change what is really happening and what it is causing to the world?
For me, climate change is a very global problem, right? In the earth, in the whole world. And for those people that don't understand climate change, they tend to do things that could cause climate change to happen, right? So, if I were a spokesperson to give awareness to causes climate change, I want them to know that do what you can. Like little things, kung do lang pala kung ano ang kayang mahimo, right? Because do your part in lessening the stress of climate change. So even if you take little steps, what's important is nga nagtake ka some small steps. Nagtake ka small steps to nagtake ka some steps to minimize the problem. Hindi nga gipabayaan mo lang muna. So do what you can, for example, lessening pollutions pollution sa basura, pollution sa air and such nga gakos nga sa threat sa climate change. So do what you can, even if small steps na siya.
Do what you can. So thank you, Manang Chloe, for answering our questions. You have a great day.
Yeah.
So here we have Manang Primshell Rose Lenario from STE 10 Einstein, and I am going to be asking her what she thinks is the main reason or the main core of why climate change isn't going great.
Well, first and foremost, climate change is a phenomenon that is happening throughout the world, and it has been happening since before pa man. But it has worsened because of human activity, especially human industrial activities such as gas emission by our vehicles, our factories and such. So it has contributed to climate change and has been worsening over the years. So I think the main reason is humans in general. Of course, dapat man kita maginahimo nga hindi man manami for our environment, and I think it is time for us to wake up to the truth and be able to come up with solutions to this climate change and as much as possible mitigate the situation.
So that's your opinion and thoughts. Thank you, Mana. We have here another interview, a student from 10 Einstein, Manong Ibtan, and we will ask him a similar some sort of question for our climate trivia for today. Your question is, Manong Ibtan, how could you possibly mitigate climate change in your own little way?
Yes, so for my perspective or for my own little ways, para sa akong idea, we cannot stop climate change, but we can prevent it. Although nga meron kita yung ways nga pwede ta siya ma-prevent, such as reducing our carbon footprints. So, di ba, for example, sa aton nga carbon footprint, pwede natin siyang mahimo in order reduce garbages. Pero hindi nato ni mahambal sa tanan nga tao nga ano na ta. Aton una nga step is through discipline gid sa aton sarili. Kay why hindi ta ka hindi ta ni mahimo kung wala disiplina sa aton sa aton sarili mismo. Muna para sa akon, ang una gid yang aton move is through discipline.
Thank you so much for answering, Manong Ibtan, and that's all for today's video. Bye.
Here are some of the effects of climate change. Number 1. Increased temperatures. Climate change is causing temperatures to rise globally, resulting in more heat waves, longer growing seasons, and changes in plant and animal behavior. Number 2. Changes in precipitation patterns. This includes more intense rainfall in some areas and longer and more severe droughts in others. Number 3. Sea level rise. Rising temperatures are causing glaciers and ice sheets to melt, resulting in rising sea levels that threaten coastal communities, habitats, and infrastructure. Number 4. Increased frequency of extreme weather events. Climate change is causing an increase in extreme weather events, including hurricanes, floods, wildfires, and droughts.
Climate change is a sign that us humans should be more responsible of our world, because if we destroy this world, there is nothing we can do anymore. We should do our parts and be more sustainable for the health of our environment. Climate change and its effects have been Earth's calling, a cry for help, a cry for change.
Will you do your part?